y'all was good. If you in the building, press like for your boy. Matty Smooth is in the building. You already know the vibes. Just give me 1 second while I do my shares. You already know how I got to do it. You know what I mean? Still sharing. Tough loss tonight. Today. Tough loss today. That makes 3 L's in a row. Not good, not good, but not also terribly bad. You feel me? I don't want to overreact to us losing these 3 games, but it's not good. I don't want to pretend like it's all sunshines and rainbows. It's not. You know what I mean? Just give me 1 second. I know y'all hear me sharing right now. Just let me work through this real quick, and I'll be right with y'all. Oh, Stephen Kennedy in the building. You already know what I'm gonna do, bro. I'm gonna do it the best that I can. You feel me? I'm gonna do it the best that I can. Uh, it's not a really happy day. You feel me? Like I'm not super upset. There's one more share and I'm done. Let me share this to Twitter real quick, and we're gonna be right on and popping. Yeah, I mean, because if I don't share, then I'll be in here pretty much talking to myself, and I hate that. You know what I mean? So just give me 1 second, and boop, and now we're going next and ish recap live now. All right, boom. So boom, 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 boom. Let's get to it, right? Yes, sir. My guy Stephen Kennedy in the building. My guy Matty Smooth is in the building. Let's talk about it. Today we took a tough loss against the 76ers. Where do I start? Well, first of all, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I know y'all do. Happy holidays to everybody who celebrate. Yeah, I mean, much respect. I hope y'all enjoyed your family and your time off. Yeah, I mean, as much as y'all could, even though the Knicks lost today, I know that kind of put a damper on y'all Christmas spirit, but I hope y'all still enjoyed your day, right? So let's get to it, right? Yeah, it was a tough loss today. We came out the gates looking great in the first half. The first quarter, we came out the gates looking great. We was moving the ball really well. Julius Randle was on one from the jump. Jalen Brunson found his rhythm early. Quentin Grimes hit some shots. The defense was looking A1. Mitchell Robinson was playing tremendous defense on Joel Embiid. And the first quarter, we were looking magnificent. I have no complaints about our first quarter of basketball. Second quarter, uh, pretty much the same. It was a letdown in the second part of the latter stages of the second quarter. There was a letdown. They started picking up steam. The refs started calling a tremendous amount of fouls for Joel Embiid. I think Joel Embiid at the half had like 10 free throw attempts. But he was like 4 for like 10 from the field. I really do believe that those free throws started to get him going, seeing the ball go in the basket. Shout out to the refs for helping him and James Harden, because James Harden at the half was having a horrible first half as well. Shout out to Quentin Grimes for playing really good defense on James Harden in the first half of the game. But I do feel like the refs. I posted that on Twitter too at half. Like the refs is trying to keep the make this a game because the Knicks is gonna run away with this. You feel me? But because there was some really dubious foul calls. You feel me? So second half starts, third quarter, we're coming out, we're playing really good basketball. We're playing really good basketball in the third quarter. We extend our lead. We had a 14-point lead or something like that in the first half. We extended back, we lost it. And then we extended back to a 7-point lead. Julius Randle was absolutely barbecue baked cooking. Jason Tucker, absolutely barbecue baked cooking him. And we hit a wall where they started playing zone more frequently. and the offense couldn't get going. And Joel Embiid and James Harden started to do what they do. You feel me? Those are you got Joel Embiid, who's a MVP candidate this year, and you got James Harden, who's a perennial All Star. You know what I mean? And they started doing what they do. You know what I mean? Two superstars doing what they do, and that what made the game. And down the stretch in the fourth quarter, we were still struggling offensively. Break down the zone, and uh Niang, however you pronounce his name, started hitting open 3-pointers. I don't understand why the coverage on that play was what it was. It seemed to be very systematic. Uh, Coach Tommy T elected to go with. Yeah, my bad, y'all. That's my PlayStation. I know y'all can hear it. Hold on. Yeah, my fault. My fault. Yeah, that PlayStation noise is gonna be annoying. Shout out to my boy Kevin in the building. Yeah, so in the fourth quarter, in the second half, pretty much, for whatever reason, I think Quentin Grimes was doing a tremendous job in guarding James Harden. James Harden's field goal percentage was atrocious in the first half, but in the second half, for some whatever reason, Coach Tommy T started electing to switch everything, switch all the pick and rolls, and it was evident because Quentin Grimes usually fights over these screens, but it was yeah, I don't celebrate Christmas, but Merry Christmas to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I don't celebrate, but Merry Christmas to y'all. You know what I mean? You know, first half, Quentin Grimes was fighting over screens. That was obviously what Quentin Grimes was told to do. Second half, he comes out and he's not fighting over screens anymore. That was obviously systematic. Uh, that they were switching on James Harden in a pick and roll situation, which literally made no sense to me because Quentin Grimes being the primary defender on James Harden was absolutely working. James Harden's field goal percentage was atrocious. He was getting to the line, but at the same time, his field goal percentage was atrocious. You feel me? So I don't understand why that was the defensive strategy going against James Harden. And in essence, he started heating up. Uh, Julius Randle is not quick footed enough to stay with James Harden. He's not. James Harden is a tough cover for even guys at his position at the 1 or 2. So how would you expect a power forward that's like 240, 250 to stay with James Harden? Is just not a reasonable ask. And James Harden, started to take advantage of that matchup. And then in the fourth quarter, you know, for whatever reason, Coach Tommy T started going with switching, and then doubling James Harden off of pick and roll situations, which it didn't make sense to me at all, and that's what ended up leaving Niang, if I pronounced that right, open for 3-pointers. I don't blame Quentin Grimes because Quentin Grimes is the only person scrambling in those situations. The rest of the defense was not scrambling the way they should have. Uh, and that's why he was open and he hit 3-pointers. You feel me? Coming off of James Harden passes. And to me, that was the nail in the coffin for the Knicks tonight. But for 3 quarters, we played really good basketball. Against a team that's considered a contender with Joel Embiid and James Harden and the rest of the cast. Because you can't leave Tobias Harris out. He's a solid player. Uh, and Maxey, he's hurt, but yeah, I mean he's a solid player. Like you can't leave. They consider contenders this year. So I'm not really super heartbroken over this loss, but I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because, as usual, from my couch, I see things that could have been done that possibly could have made us win this game. And the first thing I want to talk about is the minutes. The minutes that some of these guys are playing, man. There's no reason why Julius Randle and RJ Barrett is playing 40 minutes a game. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable basketball, bro. I don't care how good a shape you in. You play 40 minutes a night, you're gonna be tired at the end of the games, bro. And that's part of the reason. It's not the only reason. I'm not even saying it's the biggest reason. I'm saying it's part of the reason why we're losing games is because, bro, listen, you cannot have your best players playing 40 minutes a night. You can't. It's unsustainable basketball, bro. You can't. You can't. Jalen Brunson is getting hurt every other game now. Like you can't continue to play your best players this much minutes. Listen, and I was one of those people that was like, "Yo, listen, man, we went on an 8-game winning streak. We went on an 8-game winning streak since we cut down the rotation." But I'm starting to see the effects of what is happening to this team when guys are playing 40 minutes a game. You feel me? At late game situations, we're not able to close. Shout out to you, Marlon. I don't celebrate, but Merry Christmas to you. You know what I mean? Got Marlon in the building. Yeah, so yeah, it's unsustainable basketball, bro. I'm not saying that's the biggest reason. I'm saying it's part of the reason. You feel me? I'm saying you can't play your players 40 minutes. You feel me? You can't do it. You know what I mean? You can't play your players 40 minutes a night. You just can't do it. I mean, I think out of the 8 games, out of the last 10 games, I think RJ Barrett has probably played 40 plus minutes in at least 7 of them. That's not sustainable basketball. It's not sustainable basketball, bro. Yeah, yeah, it's not sustainable basketball, bro. I think Julius Randle's probably played 40 plus minutes in maybe like 4 or 5 of them. But he's usually around 35 to 40 minutes in that 10-game stretch. Not like tonight, you couldn't even call it really a 9-man rotation. Deuce McBride plays 6 minutes. That's not, I won't consider that a 9-man rotation. 6 minutes is nothing. There's no rest for somebody. I think RJ Barrett played like 45 minutes tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I had my stats up, my fault. I had my stats up. I was doing a lot. Uh Julius Randle 40 minutes. RJ Barrett 43 minutes tonight. And then you be like, the Knicks can't close. They can't close because they're getting tired. Uh Jalen Brunson looked like he hurt his back tonight, which was worrisome. JJ Jackson in the building. I see you, Brody. Uh I see you, Brody. If you're in the building, press the like button. You already know the vibes. I need those likes, you heard. Yeah. So Jalen Brunson hurt his back tonight. You know what I mean? He hurt his back tonight. There's a lot of minutes being logged by these guys. You feel me? A lot of minutes being logged by these guys. RJ Barrett, 43 minutes. Julius Randle, 40 minutes. A lot of minutes being logged by these guys, man. It's not sustainable basketball, bro. And especially it's not like we don't have talent on the bench, and that's the part that kind of bothers me the most. I mean, that's what bothers me the most is the fact that we have talent on the bench, bro. Uh, I'm overwatching the Isaiah Hartenstein, Jericho Sims lineup, having 2 centers. That doesn't work for us offensively. The bench production suffers because of it. Uh, teams are starting to get hit when that lineup is out there. That all they have to do is really defend RJ Barrett because there's no real other offense on coming off the bench, and our bench is suffering, which was a strong point for our team. But they starting to get hip to it. Like, yo, we're gonna shut down RJ Barrett in his second lineup, and nobody else is gonna be able to really score. You feel me? In times like that, I definitely feel like Cam Reddish should come in handy. He could play the 4. There's another person that can not only shoot the basketball a little bit, but also can get to the rim and kind of create his own shot. So I just don't see, especially with the fact that Obi is still hurt why Cam Reddish is not getting PT. It really just don't make sense to me. That two center lineup is run its course, is over with. Move on, try something else. All right, so that's a good question, Steven. You know what I mean? Steven is asking a good question right now. It's a multitude of things. You feel me? I think like I said, that is not the main reason. You know what I mean? Like the time that the players are getting played is not the main reason. What I think the main reason is too is there's teams are running zone against us, bro, in crunch time, and for whatever reason, the team looks baffled every time. They look befuddled every time they face the zone, which is ridiculous. Because if you're a head coach and you know that teams are starting to run zone against you at a high rate, you should have some sets for your team that are zone busters. Look at your personnel that you have on the team. Seems Coach Committee like to yell out plays every time down the court like this is a college basketball game. If that's what you're going to do, you should have zone busting plays. Oh, they're running the 2-3. Let me run this play because I know we're going to have a high success rate of beating the zone by running this play with the personnel that we have on the court. That doesn't happen, bro. It doesn't. Us beating the zone relies way too much on Jalen Brunson being able to break down the zone off the dribble, get in the paint, and dish out to somebody on the perimeter. That's that's what we rely on when it comes to beating the zone. That's what we solely rely on when it comes to beating the zone. And it unsustainable basketball. It will work some of the time, but it will not work all of the time. You have to have some sets because every time they run the zone against us, our offense immediately slows down drastically. And we're seeing it every night at this point. It makes no sense at this stage in the season that we're still looking so confused as a team playing against the zone. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Because at the end of the day, as good as a defensive team as we are, superstars are going to do superstar things, bro. That's a fact. So Joel Embiid going off for 35, he's a superstar. He does that. He's averaging 33 points on the season. So him scoring 35 is a norm. Right? You can't even say Joel Embiid bust that ass because he's doing that on a nightly basis. That's what he does. You expect that. Right? So you control the things that you can control, which is your offensive sets, the personnel that you're putting on the court. Like if you know you're gonna be in a matchup where they got a superstar that he's gonna get 30 something. He's gonna get 30 because that's what he's doing. He's averaging 33 on the season. We need an offensive punch. So why your second unit you coming out with two guys that don't score? They don't score. Isaiah Hartenstein and Jericho Sims. One of them will suffice. One of them will suffice. You got you got Derrick Rose, you got Cam Reddish and Fournier just sitting on the bench. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. When the numbers dictate, I'll be looking at the stat sheet, the numbers every night, and I'm like, our bench be scoring like 10 points. We getting 10 points. Unless IQ have a night where he scored like 15 or 20. And you shouldn't really be depending on one bench scorer to give you 15 points a night. Our bench be literally scoring like 10, 15 points a night collectively. It's not good bench production. And it's because we're running a rotation of bench players where our front court can't score. And can't score. So you got a two guard in Deuce McBride, and I love Deuce McBride because I think he helped shore up our second unit's defense. But he's not a scorer at this stage of his career. You feel me? He's still trying to find a way to get his offense up to the NBA level. He's not a scorer at this stage of his career. Quickly is inconsistent. So you really depending on RJ Barrett to score all the points for the second unit. And he's probably, at this point, he's already been in the game for pretty much the whole first half. That's why he's playing 40 minutes. It's unsustainable basketball, bro. And shout out to my guy, Trippy OG on Twitter, because me and him had a debate about this. He's like, we won 8 games straight. He's like, it's not sustainable, bro. For the long run, they're gonna have to play somebody else. But his reason was for defense. My reason is for offense. Yeah, I mean, that's the only place that we still differ. But he was right. You gotta play Cam Reddish, bro. You gotta open up the rotation, especially when Obi is still hurt. That Isaiah Hartenstein, Jericho Sims lineup is not cutting it. You're not gonna cut it, especially against some of the better teams. You're not gonna cut it. It's not. And tonight was a prime example of that. The starting lineup gave us a nice, cool lead. Second unit came out and lost the lead because they couldn't score. The second unit relied on RJ too much. RJ was having a bad night. He was 6 for 21 from the field, 17 points. 2 for 6 from 3. You know what I mean? If you had somebody else that could take the pressure off of RJ Barrett, like a Cam Reddish, and in the second unit, you run a second unit different from the first unit. If you're going to sacrifice defense for offense, then you got to make sure you score it as often as possible, right? So if you get a Cam Reddish to play the 4, we're running. You got Emmanuel Quickly out there. You got Deuce McBride. You got RJ Barrett. We are running the whole time that the second unit inbounds, plays, all that. We're on go. We're on go as soon as the second unit come in, because we need to put up as much shot as we can, because we're sacrificing defense. We're not going to execute properly in a half court set. We got a whole bunch of athletes that can get up and down the court, shoot, finish in transition. Like, that's what our second unit is going to be. But that's not what Coach Tommy T sees. And, I'll be trying to, reserve my criticism for Coach Tommy T, because we did go on an 8-game win streak. But when you lose those inefficiencies, start blaring, bro. And tonight it was blaring to me. Like, I'm not super mad at the loss. Sixers are hot right now. They got two of the best players in the East. You know what I mean? Two of the I guess you could say top. I give them top 5, top 10. 2 of the top 10 players in the East. James Harden and Embiid, and we lost, bro. But on another note, let's get some positive before I get up out of here. I ain't gonna be here too long tonight. It's already late. Y'all gotta start putting some respect on Julius Randle's name, man. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what your emotions tell you. You know what I mean? I don't care if you still upset about him telling y'all to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Y'all got to start putting some respect on Julius Randle's name, because he's been balling ridiculously these last 10 games, bro. And he's been doing it consistently. Tonight, son was 12 for 24 from the field, 4 for 9 from three-point range, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block. Finished with 35 points. Jules showed up tonight. Julius Randle showed up tonight. He showed up the night before. Showed up the night before that. He showed up this whole 10-game stretch. That guy start putting some respect on Julius Randle's name. And for all you Knicks fans that be like, trade now, trade high, shut up. Because you're not going to get this kind of production at this price nowhere else. Nowhere else. There's no other player in the NBA that's making close to what Julius Randle's making, putting up this kind of numbers. Not one. You can't find one player that's putting up Julius Randle numbers. Right? Listen to me what I'm saying. There's not one player in the NBA that's giving you 22, 10, and 4, making what Julius Randle's making. You're not, and the key to building a championship team is having guys on your roster that outplays their contract. So, no, that's corny. That's a cop-out. Just saying it's criticism. No, I've been in the arena. And I'm pretty sure you have too, Stephen Kennedy. It ain't just shut the fuck up. It ain't just criticism. There's some of the most disrespectful things being said to you by fans if you're a player. We're talking about the same fan base that thought it was cool to spit on somebody. You're talking about this a fan base that didn't go to the playoffs in almost a decade, got to the playoffs. Julius Randle was underperforming, and they're upset. So I could imagine the things that were said to him. The man literally sat at a press conference and said, "It bothers me when my son is feeling uncomfortable at games and have to leave." That's where the shut the fuck up came from. But we don't want to talk about that or take any accountability for that. We think as Knicks fans, just because we pay for a ticket, they give us the right to treat these grown-ass men like circus animals. They're not. They're human beings with feelings and emotions. Criticism is one thing, but the slander. So you're a part of Knicks Twitter, Stephen Kennedy. You see what's being said in Knicks Twitter about Julius Randle. You think some of those drunk ass guys ain't going to the game and saying those same exact things to Julius Randle on the sidelines, chastising his family? That man said his son felt uncomfortable, so his wife had to leave games with his son. And then you have Knicks fans be like, well, he shouldn't be bringing his son to the game. Why not? Why can't his son, who Julius Randle said is an absolute fanatic of the game, come watch the person, one of the people that he loved the most, play the game that he loves, because grown-ass people can't control themselves and not chastise a child? That's ridiculousness. I would have said worse. I would have said worse if it was me, personally. If y'all in the crowd chastising my child because I play a kid's game and you can't conduct yourself like an adult, I would have said worse. So we not that. That's why I never liked that cop out, bro. You know what I mean? Never liked that cop out. But he's playing amazing basketball, bro. And y'all can't deny that. Y'all can't deny that. Yeah, he's playing amazing basketball. Amazing basketball. And we make up our own narrative, and fans made up their own narrative about Julius Randle, about how he doesn't get along with the team, and he's the team loves him. When you hear RJ Barrett talk about Jules, always in high regard. When you hear about Obi, the guy that everybody goes that he was hating on, Obi talks about Julius Randle in super high regards, joking around with Julius Randle's son. Like, there's camaraderie on this team. Y'all just hate Julius Randle, and I get it. No, I don't get it. Now, let me stop saying that. I don't get it. You feel me? But what you cannot say is that he has not been balling out. Bro, it be feeling like they act like, Knicks fans be acting like having a guy that's making the money that Julius Randle's making, which is not a lot of money. Yeah, in this today's NBA, that's not a lot of money. 22, 10, and 4. He deserves to be 150, 100, $160 million player. He's even Meta World Peace said it. He's like, yo, Julius Randle deserved to be $150 million player. Meta World Peace said that. And he's right. 22, 10, and 4. And it's only going to keep on climbing because he's been balling out of control, bro. Like Julius Randle's been scoring 30 to 25 to 30 points every night. Every night he's been giving 25 and 30 points, 25, 11 rebounds, every night. I'm about to bring up his stats just so I can prove my point. Let me bring up Julius Randle's stats just so I can prove my point. Julius Randle over the last 11 games is averaging 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists, bro. And we going all the way back to the Cleveland game. That's the first game that we started on the win streak. He scored 18, 9, and 4 that night. Not great, you feel me, but not bad, right? Yeah, he had a bad night that night, and we still won convincingly. Atlanta, 34 points. He was 34, 17, and 5 against Atlanta. Charlotte, 33 and 7, 2. Sacramento, 27, 8, 3. Chicago, 31, 13, and 7. Chicago, he scored 19, 12, and 4. Not a good night for Julius Randle, but not horrible neither. Indiana, 25, 14, and 3. Golden State, not a great night for Julius Randle, 15, 12, and 5. Toronto, 30, 13, and 4. Chicago, 29, 12, and 3. Philly, 35, 8, and 4. Yo, he's been going crazy over this stretch. There's 3 games out of 11 where he didn't have a spectacular game. But every other game, it's 25 plus. Every other game, 25 plus. Double-digit rebounds. This is a fact. This is a fact. This is a fact. And y'all got to start putting some respect on Julius Randle's name. I'm tired of hearing his name and people talking about trade him. Y'all bugging. Excellent production at an amazing price. You feel me? As far as what the numbers he given, we still got him under contract for another 4 years. And like, you're not gonna find these numbers at this price nowhere else, bro. Nowhere else. You know what I mean? Jalen Brunson doing this thing, but I think he's being overworked. He's gonna start breaking down, man. He's gonna start breaking down. He played too hard. Pause. He played too hard. Pause. You know what I mean? So we gotta find some relief for him. You know what I mean? Gotta find some relief for him. Got to. We relying on Jalen Brunson way too much. And tonight he grabbed his back, bro. Like, that's not a good sign. I hate that. That's not a good sign. And I think Coach Tommy T is he's going back to sticking true and overworking guys. Like, I think he's overcompensating for the beginning of the season where he opened up his roster to like a 12-man rotation. Like, I'm not saying a 12-man rotation. I'm just saying that tonight wasn't even a 9-man rotation, bro. You played Deuce McBride not 6 minutes, bro. You got athletes on the bench, bro. Gotta play them, bro. And he's not doing that, and it's annoying. It's annoying. Being on this 3-game losing streak is annoying. It's annoying, but I don't feel like it's the end of the world. We'll be back in the win column on Tuesday. I don't like. It's not the end of the world. And I want Knicks fans to understand this, bro. We are 3 years removed from only winning 14 games for the season. 3 years removed from winning 14 games. 14. We won 3 years ago. That's it. For the season. 14. We passed that already. We're sitting in the 6th seed right now. We're sitting in the 6th seed playing predominantly guys that are under 24 years old. 2 of the 9 guys that we're playing are over 24 years old. I'm talking about stretch 4. Yo, and you know what's even more crazy? Julius Randle is turning into a stretch 4. That's the crazy part. Over the stretch, he's been shooting the basketball really well. Really well. Really well. So, again, it don't make sense. You want to trade him for a stretch 4 that don't give you half of the production. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. Don't make sense. I get the idea behind it, Stephen. I really do. I don't want you to think that I don't get what you're saying. I do. But what I'm saying is, bro, you're not going to get the production. Julius Randle has been shooting the ball really well. Really well this last stretch. Really well. He's getting back to his MIP shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Teams have to respect Julius Randle on the 3-point line now because he's been wilding out. You feel me? So, yeah. And you're not going to, there's no stretch 4 at his price tag that's going to give you the same production. Points, rebounds, and assists. Not going to do it. Not going to do it, bro. Not. There's not one. Not one. Not one stretch 4 that makes what Julius Randle makes that's going to give you that production. Not one. So, yeah. You know what I mean? So, back to what I was saying, right? We're playing a whole bunch of kids that, 2 players we play that's over 24 years old, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Everybody else that we're playing is 22 and younger pretty much. 22 and younger pretty much. And we're 6th seed. And this is where I think we're going to plateau out for the rest of the season. The 6th seed, that's our place. And it's a process, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Knicks fans want to rush the process. Y'all want to go from the bottom of the heap to the top of the heap in 2 years. It don't work like that. It don't. It don't work like that, bro. It don't. I'm content being 6th seed this season. I am super content being 6th seed this season. If we finish out at the 6th seed, to me, that's a major victory. It's a step in the right direction. Let's go in the off season. Let's assess the team. Let's see what we got. Let's see what moves we can make in the off season. But in the middle of the season, trying to trade away everybody to bring in and the names that they're bringing up, and I'm like, why, bro? Most of the people that y'all asking to trade for, teams ain't even playing well. Most of the guys they got asking for are the leaders of their teams, and their teams are ass. Or we want DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine. They're losing. They're losing without LaMelo Ball. Why do we need to trade an older version of RJ Barrett? He's better. You know what I mean? Of course, he's the better version. But why do we need that? Don't make sense. More expensive too. More expensive than RJ Barrett. Older version. His team is losing. He's putting up numbers, but his team is losing. We smoked him twice. Why would we trade? Zach LaVine, same thing, injury prone. Why would we trade for this guy? Yes, he can score. I'm not denying his basketball talent, but he's not available, bro. Why would we trade for that? I saw today somebody had Cat. Why? Look at all the people when they got over there and their ass. We have a better record than them. Why would we trade for Cat? Don't make sense. Don't make sense. It does not make sense. To me, it's not the right. Nope, not the right situations, bro. Not the right situations. Nah, I wanna keep on developing what we got. Quentin Grimes is a second year guy, bro, and already is one of the perimeter defenders in the NBA. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait for him to continue developing his jump shot. Let's wait. IQ, third year guy. He's showing signs that he can explode. Like he's a Lou Williams part two, man. Like let's wait for this to let's wait for him to continue to develop. Obi's hurt. Irby had a bad start to the season. So did the whole team. Let's see what he looks like when he come back and start getting in the groove of things. Y'all be turning our nose down at the 6th seed compared to we were 3 years ago, 14-win team. When did we get so spoiled, bro? I understand you're impatient. We ain't win nothing in a long time, but bro, like when did we get so spoiled? Like we've been perennial contenders that we could turn our nose down at being a 6th seed team. And if you really believe that we're gonna be a 6 seed team, stretches like what we're having at this moment are going to happen. It took a guy to have a career night 15 plus point game and for us to turn over the ball 17 times for our win streak to be broken. We lost to the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best teams in the East. A lot of teams lose to those guys, good and bad. And we just lost to the 76ers, one of the hottest teams in the NBA. With an MVP candidate and a perennial all-star. I'm not really losing my mind about like where we at right now. 6 seed is great for me. And this is my point. This is my point about being spoiled. We ain't even seen the playoffs like that in the last 2 decades, bro. And that's my point. We ain't even seen the playoffs like that in the last 2 decades. You should be happy for a playoff appearance no matter what it is. Because you ain't seen the playoffs like that in the last 2 decades. Looking at the roster and seeing the first round, that's a stepping point from where we were years ago. We weren't even making the playoffs. How you make yourself, everybody's saying they want a superstar. How you make yourself more enticing to a superstar, especially in free agency, is being a perennial playoff team every year making the playoffs. Because a superstar be like, yo, they make the playoffs every year. If I go there with that roster, we gonna do something. You don't blow up the foundation to make a trade for a superstar, and then when it go bad again, you stuck in the same fucking rat race circle. Listen, this is my point about everybody wanting to make a trade and trade it for superstars, right? LeBron James is absolutely still a superstar and a capable guy. Capable, super capable. The Lakers are ass right now. You know why? Because the rest of his team is ass. It don't matter who you are as a superstar. You're not going to go nowhere if the rest of your team is ass. And if you trade, you're going to have to trade all your assets and your role players to bring in a superstar. And then the team is still gonna be ass, and you still gonna be mad. LeBron James dropped 38 points tonight and got blown out, bro. It's a fact. LeBron James dropped 38 and got blown out. So no, that's not the way to go, bro. That's not the way to go. I've never felt like it was the way to go. Screaming trade every time we hit a losing streak. No, that's not the way to go, bro. It's not the way to go. I like the foundation. I like the core that we're building. You feel me? If we can possibly bring some other solid pieces in via free agency, or some other solid role players via free agency, or not having to give up much as far as like our core role players, maybe. Maybe. They talking about people talking about trade for Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, he's on a team right now. He's getting major minutes, and that team is ass. The Wizards are ass. Why are we going to trade for Kyle Kuzma? Kyle Kuzma ain't never really been like that. He's having a good year this year because it's a contract year. But up until this year, Kyle Kuzma been ass. Yearly, every year, ass. Until this year, because he got a contract coming up this year. And the Wizards is letting him do whatever. He's not. If he come to the Knicks, he's not getting 30 plus minutes like he's getting over in Washington. He's not going to do it. And he's not going to be as productive. He's going to be sitting on the bench. And he don't play defense. Yeah, gonna be Knicks fans crying for Kyle Kuzma as soon as he get here and they see how ass he is on defense. They're gonna be crying for him to be sitting on the bench. It's too much complaining, man. Too much complaining. I think we're in a good spot. Even with this 3-game losing streak, I'm not all the way mad, bro. I get it. I see it. I see the future. See the future. See the future, son. See the future. And you talking about there's a draft coming up that's supposed to be stacked. Stacked. Mad talent. Got a shit ton of draft picks. You don't. There's major opportunity to move up in the draft, especially when we got so many players on expiring contracts. When it's easy sign and trade situations, to get another young player that has an upside that is going to play below his contract. I mean, play above his contract. Versus trying to go get somebody who's making $40 million a year already. And you have to trade your role players, and then won't be able to really sign nobody else because your salary cap is all effed up. Like, people don't think about that. They just think about the now. I want to win right now. I want to win right now. I want this team to be good for the foreseeable future, bro. I want this team to be good for the long haul. And I feel like we're taking the right steps to do that. I feel like we're taking the right steps to do that. No matter how you feel about Julius Randle, he's playing good basketball, bro. Playing good basketball. We got him on a really good price. You know what I mean? Really good price. How old is Jules? Jules is like what? Jules is 28. Still young. Still going. By the time his contract up, he's like 32. Still in his prime. You know what I mean? Still in his prime. Still on a good contract because the CBA is about to go up in the next year. Still on a good contract. Still can. Jules averaging 23, 5, and 4, bro. Like, I'll be wilding. Yeah, let's trade that. What? Y'all be wilding, bro. Y'all be wilding. Let's trade 23, 5, and 4. Shooting 47% from the field. Let's trade that. Let's he bro, that's what I'm saying. Like again, it's being very short sighted of you, bro. Being very short sighted of you. You don't. I don't think being getting no, bro. So you rather there's no like there's you gonna make a trade. Let's put it like this: you're gonna make it a trade. Who you gonna trade for that's gonna make us a contender? Who you gonna trade for to make us a contender instantly? Anybody you name that we have to trade, that we're going to trade for to make us a contender, we're going to have to give up all the supporting cast. It's going to be done with G Leaguers surrounding him. And one star can't win it all. Any star. Unless a star goes, hey, I want to be traded, let me out of here, there's no way you getting a good deal for that superstar. No way. And the what you call it? The precursors for that is that superstar being on an expiring contract. There's none that's on expiring contract that we could get a good deal for. That take this team from being where it is now to a contender. None. Not a one. And all the proposed trade talks that he talking about, none of those guys take us to being a contender. None. So it's useless. That's my point. Ain't talking about we don't get a high draft pick, bro. We have so many draft picks that we can trade whatever we want to move up in the draft, bro. We might not get top 3, but we have enough draft picks no matter where we land to get in the top 15. And that's lotto. And no matter how bad you are, there's no guarantee you're going to get the top pick. You feel me? So, yo, that's what I'm saying, bro. It like stay the course. Stay the course, man. Stay the course, man. Stay the course. Because look at the Bucks, bro. If the Bucks would have gave up on their game plan on building around Giannis and Middleton, they wouldn't be at where they at right now. I'm not saying that anybody on our team is gonna be Giannis. You know what I mean? If the Golden State Warriors where they gave up on Steph, they was about to trade Steph. Steph was as good as traded, bro. Bucks back out of the Steph Curry trade the day of. There will be no rings for Golden State. That's my point. Stay the course, bro. We've been down this road of blowing everything up every couple of years, bro. We've been down this road already, blowing everything up every couple of years. It don't make sense. You went from being a 14th win team 3 years ago. Now you sitting in the 16th, 6 seed 3 years later. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Let's keep building. We on the right track. We moving in the right direction. Last year, that was a setback. Understand. But we're moving in the right direction, man. Chill out, bro. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right, bro. Have some patience. I understand. You're a Knicks fan. Oh, we ain't win nothing in mad long. I get it. I get it. But you gotta be patient. And shout out to the front office for not bending to the whims of, the media and the fans, man. They got a plan and they're gonna stick to it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. Y'all may not, but T-Tom does. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm out of here. Shout out to everybody for pulling up. I holla.